Hey, have you ever wondered about how to get money for your idea, how to get funding, startup capital for your idea? Today, I'm here to share with you exactly what we're doing at 10X Incubator to get money for your idea, for your startup. Regardless of where you are in the world, we're doing some crazy things with 10X Incubator. Jared, I'm so glad to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just want to talk about what is people's, and then you're going to share some stories about people that are actually doing this and what they did to raise money for their startup.
Yeah.
Okay. What are people's biggest challenges with a startup and with funding?
Especially with tech, they need clarity around what is the minimum viable product. Mm-hmm. Because most people have these
meaning what's the minimal viable product? What is
the number of features. So most people have these really ambitious goals for the product they want to build, and it's going to require millions of dollars and years of time. And you're an investor. You don't want to put money into a deal that you're not going to see anything on for years.
Right.
And the likelihood of even getting there is like negative 14%.
Yeah, because it takes too long to get there and people fail on the way.
Yeah, they run out of resources, they lose talent. So our goal at 10X Incubator is within 90 to 120 days, we get products live.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. How important is this quick start to launch fast? Because I've been talking about that for years. The speed at which you can go from an idea to monetization is going to determine how much success you have. How important do you think speeding up, accelerating that timeline is?
It's everything in tech. Because when you can show product market fit and cash flow, you can do an immediate up round. So if you initially raise capital, let's say you raise $250,000 at a $2.5 million valuation. So you sell 10% of the company to get the resources you need to build that minimum viable product. And then within 90 days, you can prove cash flow positive. If not even in 30 days, you get the attention of everybody. Because
your story now is what? Hey guys, I had an idea. Started in 90 days, we were cash flow positive.
There's product market fit, right? So now investors that are going to want to invest once there's more proof.
Yeah, now they're like, well, what is the company? Like you're leading, this person, then they're lead in an elevator pitch. Correct. Hey, what do you do for a living? Well, I started a company 90 days ago. We were cash flow positive in 84 days.
Yep, exactly.
Like when I did 10X, the Undercover Billionaire.
Yeah.
The whole pitch was, could you turn $100 into $1 million?
Yeah.
So when I meet somebody, I'm like, who was I with? I was telling, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Dave's like, what do you do? I said, well, I just finished doing a TV show. What was it about? I said, I took no money, $100, turned into $5.5 million. That was my elevator pitch.
Totally.
Then his next question was, what was the business?
Yeah.
Everybody falls for it. What was the business? So we're working at 10X Incubator. We're working with companies that have, we'll take any idea. Is that right?
Yeah.
As long as it's tech specific.
There's 4 criteria. We look for the right person.
Yeah.
So the right person's relevant.
What does it mean, the right person?
So they're relevant. They're an expert on the problem that they're solving. So if it's a real estate tech, they're in the industry. They're not looking at the industry saying, I think the industry needs this. They're experiencing the pain.
Got it.
And they can sell. We really want to make sure that when we spotlight them, we highlight them, that they can handle that opportunity. The second is that the idea is right. So it solves a big enough problem in the world and it's technologically viable in a realistic time frame. Because everything's technologically viable, but you're not going to invest in something that's going to launch in 2.5 years. You're going to want to invest in something that launches in 90 to 120 days. The third criteria.
Launch meaning what? We can bring a product to the market.
Start making money from it.
Not 5 years from now.
And
some guys are willing to invest for something that's going to happen 20 years from now, right?
Not really. Not in tech. Notice those are the things that require $100 million of investment capital. It's all speculation. They just want to say they did it.
So the first investors in Netflix or Amazon, who was that just family and friends?
Yeah, family and friends. Yeah. We'll talk about that though as a funding strategy. The third criteria we look for is the right market. So in the market, there's this concept called red ocean and blue ocean. Red ocean means it's really competitive. So it's also really expensive. So you have to outspend.
So it's bloody. Red stands for it's bloody. Everybody's going to kill each other.
Yeah. And the blue ocean, in theory, that's great, right? There's no competition, but it's not great in tech because the blue ocean means that your end user doesn't even know they have the problem.
Right.
So you have to educate them on you have the problem and this is my solution. It's more expensive to enter a blue ocean. What we want is the pink ocean where people know they have a problem. They just have yet to find the right solution. It's just prime. So we call it pink. And then the fourth criteria.
So give me a public example of a pink ocean product or service.
Yeah. So products that we have right now in the incubator. So perfect example, Claim Guru. Claim Guru is a software for the public adjusting industry. So people that come out to homes after hurricanes and fires and they do an assessment. Wow. And it's a pink ocean because there's one other leading technology in the industry that's been around for decades, and it's not really solving the problem. But what it did is it let public adjusters know there's a problem. So we can now leverage the decades of time they've spent spending money marketing and educating the market, and then we come out with the actual solution. So our speed to get that first user and then get to cash flow.
Because there's already some adoption in the market.
They're looking for it. Like they're like looking for it. They
so what's
it.
Another pink, something famous that we would know, not just in our incubator? How many companies do we have in the incubator?
115.
115.
Yeah, yeah.
Outside of those 115, what's another pink ocean, public, super well known?
Yeah, Slack. So Slack's a chat software. So the story of Slack's amazing. I don't know if you know the story. So it was originally a video game company, and they built an internal chat software just for their gamers to communicate with each other. The company went out of business. They weren't able to make it.
Slack did.
Slack. Originally it was a video game company. It was called something else. They said, hey, we got this chat software. We think the world needs a better internal chat software for teams to work together.
So I'm playing, like Xbox on the gaming platform.
That's what it was originally.
Okay, got it.
And it didn't make it. It was too premature for its time.
Right.
But they said, well, there's application for this chat software in the business world.
Yeah,
there was tons of chat software,
wow.
right? But there wasn't anything as versatile and inexpensive as Slack.
Wow.
Slack sold during COVID to Salesforce for $21 billion.
Wow.
85% of the investment for Slack came from friends and family. Just ordinary people putting in 10 grand, 25 grand. There's one woman that put in 25 grand, made 15 million bucks on 25 grand.
Wow.
I mean, where do you go to have
I
that
wish I'd have been that person.
Yeah.
It's better than Bitcoin.
Now you told me we should put more money in, right? That's
Yeah,
what you said.
exactly. What's the fourth one?
The right business model. So in tech, there's like two extremes. There's the extreme of the non-cash flowing company, which is kind of like what Instagram was back in the day, made no money at all, but Facebook bought it for $1 billion. That's called a fundraising game. What Instagram did was they just kept on fundraising to collect enough data and enough users to eventually become desirable. Another good example of that is Twitch, which is a video game streaming platform. Never made $1. Amazon bought it for $920 million because they had millions of eyeballs and all of this data.
So they didn't make money. Basically, they made eyeballs, which money is attention.
Correct.
Or attention is money, right? So this video is about how to get funding for an idea. Okay, this the headline here on this channel. By the way, if you're not following this channel, make sure you click the notifications because you'll get something popped up here. We're doing a freaking amazing number of things at Cardone Enterprises. So we know a little something about traditional ideas, traditional business, real estate. Jared came to me, earlier this year?
Like 6 months ago, yeah.
Yeah, and said, hey man, I want to, I'm going to start 10,000 companies in 10 years. And Grant, with your name, we could do it faster than 10 years. I'm like, I'm in, let's go. So can you talk about these companies that we're bringing in, 115 companies this year? These are people from all over the world.
Yes.
All ages, as young as
11,
as
up
old
to 77.
as 77. So that's a 7X range. And these people are coming with napkin ideas.
Yeah.
Really is there a product? Do they have a product?
There's not even a company set up. I mean, it's like, I tell the team, it's the ingredients of a napkin. It's not even a napkin yet. Like we take it from the ingredients. We're like, okay, this is what the napkin is. And then that's what we start to actually go and build. We're talking about funding. Like this is such a hot topic in tech.
Well, where do I get the money, dude? How do I get the money for the napkin? Like beyond the napkin is going to take something.
Yeah, you have to have the right team. This is just an essential. No one's
and they're going to want money.
Yeah, because anyone that's the team's going to want money, but anyone that's going to put money into an early stage tech
needs to see a team.
If you're a non-tech founder, which is what the majority of tech companies are, people like us, like non-technical, but they have tech ideas. Like they want to know that you have a team in place, that you're not going to take their $250,000.
Teams are what? Coders, graphics,
software development, UI, UX, which is what it looks like.
What is that?
UI, UX, the user interface and user experience. So when somebody logs in, like what does it look like? Where do they click?
Right.
They want to know that you have someone to handle scale. So what does the sysadmin look like? There's all these different roles that are required. So
now how many people just get overwhelmed with like all the roles? Like just because I have a tech idea doesn't mean I know anything about organization or like me asking these questions like, what do I need?
Yeah, that's why.
But I can still have a great idea.
That's why they sit on it, right? Like, I mean, you know the quote, right? The majority of the potential in the world resides in the graveyard because people just like die with it. They don't know where to go with it. So most sit on it. If they don't sit on it, they go and they outsource it. And they hire a software development firm, usually in another country, to build their vision. And the problem there, Grant, is value misalignment. The software development firm just wants to get paid. They don't care about the quality of what they're building.
There's a contract to deliver something.
It's transactional. Yeah. That was my story, right?
So real quick, let me just, anybody that's interested in this right now, where do they go?
10xincubator.com.
10xincubator.com. If you have an idea that you need funding for, you need money for, you need eyeballs on, you need attention, or maybe you don't know what to do next. Fill out, register there.
Yep.
My team will get back with you. And 115 companies, our goal is 10,000.
Yeah.
So that's a freaking lofty goal, but we can't do it without you guys. And I couldn't do it without Jared. And I can just tell you, man, I'm so proud of what we've done this year already. Yeah. It's just amazing. The 11-year-old kid, 77-year-old man, like to know that we are giving people a place to go other than Silicon Valley. Yeah. Because real quick, and then we'll get back on topic here. What's the reality if I have an idea, I'm in Miami, I got some tech idea, I got the next thing I could do, I'm going to be the next Facebook or whatever. What's the reality of me taking that to Silicon Valley? Is that where I would go to sell that idea?
Zero. No, it is. It's the most pretentious place in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have the right skin color, right gender, right pedigree, right college, there's no space. And even people in the Valley say that. There's no way to get in.
Yeah.
We just stand against it. That's why we're doing this. Democratize tech. Yeah. Let's give everyone a shot.
Right.
Let's give men a shot, women a shot. Let's give Black, Asian, Indian kids.
Yeah.
Like that 77-year-old, I told him when we first met, I said, listen, bro, it's never too early and it's never too late to become a tech founder. And he's like, you're right, I got an idea. And he's an industry person with an idea, and the idea is perfect.
Yeah.
And he never saw himself for 77 years as a tech founder until we said, let's do this.
Wow.
It's remarkable.
So just for those of you who are wondering about, okay, how's the funding? Funding may or may not be the first thing you need. You might think you need funding today, but we're going to share with you how to get funding other than somebody just writing you a check. Can you give some examples of some companies that we have, like C-Rock, how we got funding for C-Rock?
Yeah.
Without diluting his company.
Totally.
Because somebody can give you a check, folks, but they're just going to take a big part of your company. We're happy to do that, by the way. There's a time and a place for money to come into the deal, but most of my companies have not been funded with money up front from other people. It's been funded from other people's money while we deliver a service, build a clientele, and they trade money. They literally become part of what's that first level of customers? The
founding members.
And the test group.
Beta testers.
Beta can actually pay you. Like, I've seen so many people over the 30 years that I've been doing business, like they wait for their beta. They take beta out and it costs them an arm and a leg, literally, to beta test something. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just sell it? Okay, so can you talk about some of the companies that we've...
C-Rock's a great example. We talk about human ingenuity, which means you just use your mind and you use creativity to find a way to monetize. So with C-Rock, we created over $100,000 of funding in about 2.5 weeks, pre-selling something that eventually people are going to use. So what we did with C-Rock, if anyone wants to check it out, it's blueprinted.com/VIP, is we sold creators an opportunity to work with our team, for our team to help them reverse engineer their success. Mm-hmm. Coaches, consultants, industry leaders, how did you do X? And then we interview them, we extract their knowledge, and we turn it into what we call a blueprint.
And they have a real product that they can go to the market and actually fund as well.
Correct.
Right?
And we actually help them bring it to market because what Blueprinted is a marketplace.
Yeah.
So we take these blueprints, which are like SOPs, like standard operating procedures across every industry. We put them in a marketplace.
How to buy real estate? He's doing one for me right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, Brandon's doing one. We have tons of thought leaders doing them because everybody that has achieved success. They have some blueprint that got them there.
Whether they know it or not.
Yeah,
they just haven't laid it out yet.
Like, they need to take it out. So we know the exact steps for people to follow. So over $100,000 in like 2.5 weeks, which then funds the last phase of development. So it's remarkable.
And without him giving up shares of his company for that $100,000, which could have cost him, it would cost him probably 20% of his company.
Probably, 15 to 20% easily.
So keep in mind, like, you guys are watching this right now, you're like, how do I get funding for my idea? One way is to go to the bank and say, hey, give me a loan. Probably not going to happen for you, particularly if it's a crazy idea, because the bank's going to be like, we don't do that. Second is you go to your mom and dad and say, hey, you get a loan from them. They probably don't trust you either anymore because you're a wacko. And third is that you go to Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank never going to take your call. But let's say you get in front of him. He's like, yeah, I'll give you 100. He's going to want 50% of your business or 75 or 80%. And you're not done getting diluted. The other way is with 10X Incubator, where I started with nothing. Yeah. So you got to figure out how to like manage money without giving everything away. So tell me about the 11-year-old.
11-year-old. Yeah, Sebastian, he's amazing. So he showed up to his pitch, 3-piece suit, little handkerchief in his pocket, and he's going to disrupt the Lego industry. And it was so cool because he pitched us. I'm like, this is really cool technology.
Right away, you got it.
I just got it. He was so clear on the messaging. Yeah. Like adults, they get stuck in their head. He was in his gut. Like he was just speaking out of gut. So I'm like, Sebastian, why you? He goes, because it's my idea. And it was just like, it was undeniable. This was his idea.
Wow.
So we started doing research. We found there's another person in the industry that's doing it. So I sent it to him like, hey, what do you think about this? And we get on a call. I'm like, how does it make you feel? He's like, it makes me feel mad. And I'm like, mad like you don't want to do it, or mad like you want to just dominate? He goes, oh no, I'm going to dominate. Like they're not doing this. They're not doing this. This is pink ocean. That other company has already proven it's possible.
Right.
They already proven demand.
How much funding did we get for 11?
He'll start funding next week. But yeah, we're going to pre-sell.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think we get for him?
150 to 200. It's all he'll need.
150 to 200,000 for a freaking 11-year-old kid.
That'll be a year of development, though, too. Like we can stretch those dollars so far based on how we actually build these companies.
Okay. How about who's the other funding that we got?
We got this last night. We got $115,000 for Crystal Morrison from Meerkat Village. Meerkat Village is amazing. Crystal's a mom that has 3 children. One of her children was born on the spectrum.
Meerkat failed, man.
No.
Not that Meerkat?
Not that.
I was the number one person on Meerkat, wasn't I? For a minute?
Yeah. No, Meerkat Village. So she's a mom, 3 kids. One of her kids was born with autism. And she's a scientist, really smart woman. And she just gave up her career to be a mom to that child.
Wow.
And she was the quarterback, the liaison between OT, PT, speech, teachers. And it was exhausting.
Wow.
All she wanted to do was be a freaking mom. And one day she's like, I need a village. Like I need a village to support this kid. And I'm gonna build that village for every other mom and dad out there that has a child on the spectrum. And that's what we're building. She got $115,000. We took a different approach with her than with C-Rock. So what we do with her is I have this exercise I take the founders through where I have them plan their exit party. So let's say we sell Meerkat Village for $400 million. You're gonna throw a party, right, Crystal? She goes, oh yeah. I'm like, what's gonna happen at that party? And she starts like telling the story of her exit party in 5 years from now. Like who's gonna be at that party? And she starts making the list, the guest list of everybody coming to that party. I'm like, those are the people that need to come to your friends and family night. Because how dare you invite them for free shrimp and not let them go on the journey to actually participate in that exit. So we did a friends and family night, had 50 relevant people on, industry people on, raised $115,000 in a week. And these are relevant. This is like, it's dilution.
So this is a more standard, no dilution?
It is, but it's positive. Because
it's a much more standard way of raising money.
Yeah.
But she did not, she needed your help and support to inspire her to come up with that list, then do the Zoom call. Were you on that call with her?
Always, yeah. I'm on every single
And you were there to support her and help her actually raise money. Because hey, for all of you watching, just because you got a great idea doesn't mean you're the fundraiser.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can be the salesman or sales lady. Doesn't mean, and you might not be. By the way, a lot of you guys are introverts. You can't make the pitch. You might not even be able to be the spokesperson of the company. Go to the website, 10xincubator.com. If you got a great idea, napkin idea, technology idea, let our company take a look at it to see if you could get started and you could become, how many companies will we do next year? Just next year.
At least 500. Minimum.
500 companies next year. I want you to be one of them, okay? I want Jared to sit down with you, hear your idea, hear your company, see if you can make the cut. I'm sure you're out there. We're looking for you. We can't wait. Hey, let's go blow this thing up 10X style, okay, man? Let's go.